13.4 is about measures of central tendency and dispersion. And this first vocab word, this is going to be a lot of vocab. The first vocab word is what we call the range, okay? And the range of data of a data set is the difference between your greatest and your least values, okay? So in this case, if you look at these data values that are listed, my greatest value is 100. My smallest value is 58. So we would say the range is 42. So it's just subtracting the largest or the smallest from the largest, okay? We're going to skip that next example and go down here to another vocab word. And this word is this word outlier. And an outlier is a data value in a set that is either much greater or much less than the other values in the set, okay? So if you look here, if this is my data set, you have 5, 7, 8, 5, 109, 2, and 1. This 109 would be the outlier. It just doesn't fit there, okay? So we're going to look down here at this example. We're going to circle the outlier in each data set. So if you look at all of this data, which one doesn't fit? And if you said 3, you would be correct. And if we look here, if we look at all these numbers, which one doesn't fit? Right here would be our outlier. Okay? All right, moving on to some more vocab. And this is a little bit hard to see, so I'm hoping you guys are able to see this here. But so here's some vocabulary that you need to know. And the words we're looking at are up here. We are looking at mean, median, and mode. And you need to know the difference in those 3 words. Okay, so here's what we have. Starting off with the mean. And just in case you can't see that, let me write it. The mean. The mean is equal to the sum of the data values divided by the total number of data values. Okay? The mean is often referred to as the average. So mean and average are similar to one another. Okay? All right, the next one is this word median. And the median is the middle value. Median is the middle value in a data set when the values are arranged in order. This is key. Have to arrange it in order. For a set containing an even number of data values, the median is the mean of the 2 middle data values. So again, median is your middle value when things are ordered least to greatest or greatest to least. Okay? And then our last one here is this word mode. And mode is this data item that occurs the most times. The data item that occurs the most times. So mode is the most frequently used data item. Okay? So let's see if we can match the following. So here's what we have. We're going to draw a line from column A to column B to match its term to its description. So first one, median. Remember we said median is the middle value when the data sets are ordered. Mode, most item that occurs the most frequently. And then mean is the same as average. Okay? Mean is the same as average. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is, one way to summarize a set of data is to use a measure of central tendency. So what we're going to do here is we're going to always be doing mean, median, and mode because these are all measures of central tendency. And so we're going to find all of these. So if the directions say, like this example here, if the directions say, find measures of central tendency, then that means we're finding that mean, median, and mode. Okay? So here's what we have. It says, consider the Bolling scores. So here are the scores. We want to know what are the mean, median, and mode. And then we're going to not do this part. Okay? We're just going to do mean, median, and mode. Okay, so first thing you always need to do is you need to take your data points and you need to write them in order from least to greatest. So if we do that, we would have 104, 104, 104, and then 109, 113, 117, and 136. So there are all my data points, okay? And we're going to start off and we're going to find the mean. So you're going to want a calculator for this because what you're going to do is you're going to add these together. So 104 plus 104 plus 104 plus 109 and so on. So get your calculator ready here. Just add all these up. I'm going to do dot, dot, dot. And then you're going to divide that by the number of data values we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so the mean of this is 112.4. Okay. Next up is median. Oh, and by the way, if you did this, all of this added together would be 787. Okay, median, this is my middle number. Okay. So I have 7 numbers listed here. So my middle number, if you look, I have 3 to the left, 3 to the right. And so this would be my middle number. So my median is 109. And then my mode is the number that occurs the most. Well, this 104 occurs the most, so 104 is my mode. Okay? All right. So let's look at another example here. So in this example, it says, your grades on 3 exams are 80, 93, and 91. What grade do you need on the next exam to have an average of 88 on the 4 exams? Here's this keyword right here, average. And what did we say average means? Average and mean are the same thing, right? So we want our average to be 88. So if I'm doing average, remember, average is add them all up, divide by the number of, I don't remember how they listed that, of your data values that you have, okay? And in this case, if we want the average to be 88, then we're going to set it equal to 88, okay? So here's what we have. We have the first 3 exams, 80, they told us, 93, and then the other one, 91. We don't know what the 4th exam is. And when you don't know what something is, you put a variable for it, right? And then how many exams am I adding together? 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. And then we're going to combine like terms. So 80 plus 93 plus 91 is 264. And then to solve, the first thing we're going to do to solve is get rid of that bottom number. So I'm going to multiply by 4. Make sure you do it on both sides. Remember, when you multiply this by 4, 4 on top and 4 on bottom cancels and becomes 1. So I have 264 plus x equals 88 times 4 is 352. And then we're going to subtract 264 over, and I would get 88. So, interestingly enough, on that last exam, if I want all my exams to average an 88, I need to get an 88 on that last exam. Okay? And so I would put right here you need a grade of 88 on the next exam to have an average of 88, which isn't always how it works, but in this case, it did. Okay. So this last example here, I think it's the last one. All right, so here's what we have. Oh, just kidding. It's not the last. Sorry. Okay, so we are going to find the mean, median, and range of the data set. And I'm going to add in, we're also, because you guys need to know how to do this, we're also going to find mode. So add that in. All right, so here's what we have. The line plot shows the number of students in each homeroom at Jefferson High School. List the data from the line plot in order from least to greatest. So by homeroom, here's what we have. We have 19 that have 4 students. Wait, is that what's going on here? Oh, 4 homerooms have 19 students. And then 5 homerooms have 20 students. And so on. Okay, so let's just write this up down here so we can see. So there's 4 with 19. There's 5 with 20. There's 6 with 21. 2 with 22. 2 with 23. And 1 that has 24. So this is the number of classrooms that have this many students in each, okay? So we're going to list this all out. So there's 19 4 times. So I'm going to list 19 4 times. And then I'm going to list 20 5 times. 21 6 times. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to list 22 2 times. 23 2 times. And 24 1 time. Okay, so we're going to start off and we're going to find the mean to begin. Okay, so remember, the mean is add up all these numbers. So you should be adding up on your calculator. 19 plus 19 plus 19 plus 19 plus 20 plus 20 and so on. Okay? All over, and we need to count and see how many numbers are there. Well, let's do it from over here. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 6 is 15, plus 2 plus 1, that's 5. 15 plus 5 is 20. So there's a total of 20 classrooms. So we're going to divide by 20, okay? If you did this on your calculator, you should have gotten out on top 416. And if I divide that by 20, I would be getting out 20.8, okay? All right, the median. So remember, median is your middle number, okay? Now, here's the deal. If you look up here at the middle number, you're going to be like right in here. So let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you have an even number, your middle is going to sit between 2 numbers because there's not an exact middle with an even number. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the average between those 2, which just means add those 2 numbers up, divide by, there's 2 numbers, so we're going to divide by 2. So 42 divided by 2 is 21. So my median, my middle number would be 21. My mode is your most frequently occurring number. That was 20. Nope, 21, sorry. Your mode is 21. And then your last one is your range. You're going to take your greatest number, 24, subtract it from your smallest, 19, and our range is 5. Okay? Okay, so let's turn it over. We're going to look at just this last example, this problem 5. Okay, so here's what we have. We are looking at, let's erase this, 2 classes. And these are their quiz scores. Okay, so we have, suppose a third class is tested. The results from class A and class C are shown. So for class A, circle the word that tells where most of the scores are located on the plot. Underline the word that describes where most of the scores are for class C. So if you look for class A, most of the scores are in the middle, right? So we're going to circle middle. And if you look on class C, most of the scores are on the left. And so we're going to underline that word left. Okay? And then it's asking us a question about the mean for class C and the mean for class A. So let's figure out what that mean is. So before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and just over here, 1 occurred 3 times, 2 occurred 4 times, 3 occurred 6 times, 4 6 times, 5 4 times, and 6 3 times. Okay? And then I'm going to go over to class C. 1 occurred 6 times, 2 occurred 6 times, 3 occurred 5 times, 4 4 times, 5 3 times, and 6 2 times. So let's start and let's find the mean of class A. So if you were finding the mean of this, remember, you would add up so for example, all of this together, 1 times 3, right? 1 times 3, 1 plus 1 plus 1 would be 3. 2 times 4 would be an 8 because 2 occurred 4 times. 3 occurred 6 times, that's an 18. 4 occurred 6 times, that's a 24. 5 occurred 4 times, that's 20 when you add all those up. 6 occurred 3 times, that's 18. So you would be doing 3 plus 8 plus 18 plus 24 plus 20 plus 18, all divided by, how many times did those numbers occur? 3 plus 4 times plus 6 times. What is that? 26 times? Is that right? I think divided by 26. And so the mean of class A, let's see if I can get a calculator here. You should have 46 divided by 26. 1.8. 1.8. Okay, now let's do class C. So 1 occurred 6 times, so that's a 6. 2 occurred 6 times, that would be 12. 3 occurred 5 times, that's 15. 4 4 times, 16. 5 3 times, 15. 6 2 times, that's 12. So the mean of this one, we would be doing 6 plus 12 plus 15 plus 16 plus 15 plus 12, all divided by, again, 26. And this would give you 2.9. So the mean for class C is greater than the mean for class A. Okay, so then it says, in a set of 26 scores, the middle score would be between, so this is an even number. So remember, if it's an even number, your middle is going to sit between 2 numbers. So it would sit between the 13th and the 14th score. And so let me just talk you through that. If we counted here, so half of 26 is 13. So if I go to the 13th score, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13th score is right here. Let me highlight that. Okay? Now, if I count from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Did I count that right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 on this side of the score, 13 on this side. That's not equal. So we got to add one more. So now there's 12 scores over here, 12 scores over here. And so I would do the average of those two. Okay? So when I'm looking for the median for Class A, so I'm looking for that middle number. It's between, so I have a 3 and a 4. So I'm taking, let's do that over here. Doing the average, so add them up and then divide by, there's only 2 numbers, so I divide by 2. So that would be 3.5. Now, if I go to Class C, so let's count where the 13th and 14th spot are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are right here. So this time, when I do the mean, or when I do that middle, those 2 numbers represent a 3. So I add them up. It's only 2 numbers. I divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And so the median for Class C would be a 3. Okay? So the thing to remember that you might not fully pay attention to is when you're trying to find the median, and again, that's the middle number, you need to make sure you order your numbers always. And if it's an even amount of data values, then you're going to have to find the mean between those. Okay, so here's what I mean. Let's say this is my data set. And let's just take this off. Okay, let's just say this is my data set. I have 5 numbers. Well, this is easy to find the median, right? Because there's 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Median sits right in the middle. If I would add a number, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, now this is different because this is an even amount. So if I'm here, now I have 2 to the left, 3 to the right. So my median is going to be the average between those 2 because I have 2 to the left, 2 to the right. And so my median would be, add those up, divide by 2. That's how you find the average. Add them, divide by the numbers that you have. 9 divided by 2 would be 4.5. So the median of this data set would be 4.5. So sometimes, just like we saw a second ago, the median is not actually a value listed in your set of values. Okay? You have a worksheet that you'll complete tomorrow. Today you have a quiz to take over the notes. Let me know if you have questions.